Alrighty, good evening. Alright, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer. We do have a tornado warning now. This is going to be for the LaGrange area in south central Texas. Give me just a second. We'll get the radar up. We'll fix the hat. And we'll get going. Alright, so this is going to be a tornado warning for the LaGrange area until, I'm going to assume, 11 o'clock. Yes. So, let's get started. This is a tornado warning northeast of Flatonia, north of Skollenberg. This does include the city of LaGrange. This is going to be for a radar-indicated circulation. This does include LaGrange, Molden, Swiss Alp, Freiburg, Rudersville, O'Quinn, Rabs Prairie, Floy, Ellinger, Plum, and Mullins Prairie, along with Holman. This is going to be a tornado warning for a storm located about, let's see, they're saying over Muldoon, 8 miles northeast of Flatonia, moving northeast at 15 miles per hour. So again, this is a severe storm that has spun up a circulation. I'll be honest, it was a little more rambunctious about 10 minutes ago, but the Weather Service in San Antonio elected to put a tornado warning out now, and this will run through 11 p.m. So again, this is for central Fayette County in south central Texas for a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. Really, it looks like we have a new circulation that's developed near Swiss Alp. We did have one over Muldoon. That has dissipated. The new circulation is developing near Swiss Alp, which is right here on Highway 77. So this will remain north of Interstate 10, north of Skollenberg. So those of you in Skollenberg, you don't need to worry about this. But we are monitoring this thunderstorm for the potential of a tornado, damaging winds, ping pong ball size hail, and more as it moves northeast at 15 miles per hour. So, what does that mean you need to do? Well, first off, don't bother going outside looking for it. If there's a tornado here, it is most likely wrapped in rain, so you're not going to see it anyway. Second off, we want you to go ahead and take your tornado safety precautions. It's going to be the lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Hard sole shoes and a helmet if you got one handy. If not, don't worry about it. You'll be A-OK. But again, this is a tornado warning for central Fayette County in south central Texas until 11 p.m. This does not include any portion of Interstate 10. And yes, I know we have other storms ongoing. They've been dropping hail and strong winds for a few hours now. But again, we only typically do live coverage for tornado warnings, and given the fact it is coming up on 2300 on Christmas Eve, you bet your behind that's what we're going to be doing. So again, those of you in Swiss Alp up to LaGrange, we'd like you to go ahead and take your tornado safety precautions. In all likelihood, the circulation will remain south of the city of LaGrange, but just in case it curves north, we want you to be in a safe place. That'll be the lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. And again, this is a rain-wrapped possible tornado. Back over to which way the wind's blowing mode, you can see pretty good indications of rotation with this thunderstorm just west of Swiss Alp, moving off to the east at about 15 miles per hour, east-northeast. So, I realize it's inconvenient, but at the same time, we want folks to be safe. We don't want folks to be in danger, and hopefully this will be a short-term issue. Again, this is a tornado warning that only goes until about 11 p.m., so it's not a long-duration event, but we want those of you in Ammonsville, LaGrange, north of Skollenberg, to be in a safe place, lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. And yes, we do have other storms that are capable of producing hail up to the size of golf balls, localized damaging wind gusts, heavy rainfall. This activity, for example, on Highway 181 southeast of Floresville near Falls City to Kennedy, up to northwest of Highway 72 is moving southeast with wind gusts over 60 miles an hour, the potential for quarter to golf ball size hail. This thunderstorm east of Gonzales moving east at about 10 to 15 miles an hour down Highway 90 just east of Gonzales, moving towards Shiner and Moulton, could have quarter golf ball to even tennis ball size hail. We could see winds over 60 miles an hour, and this thunderstorm is also showing indications of low-level rotation. A thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. This is northwest of Skollenberg. By about 8 miles, moving off to the east-northeast at about 15 miles an hour. We had one circulation northeast of Latonia. That was pretty strong earlier before we had a tornado warning. That circulation weekend turned hard north, and this is the new circulation. So this is a cyclic supercell producing cyclic circulations. You can see old circulation back off to the west, new circulation northwest of Skollenberg by about 8 miles. Let me see, what is the... all right. You can see right there, that's circulation number 1. And this is the old circulation that turned north and weakened. So again, that's doing that right now, but this could eventually try to turn a bit to the north as we get into subsequent scans. And we're going to have to monitor that closely. So those of you on Highway 77 from just north of Interstate 10, Skollenberg, all the way up to LaGrange, we want you to be in a safe place. That'll be the lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Hard-soled shoes and a helmet. Not the worst idea. I realize this area isn't the most populated, but we do want folks here in central portions of Fayette County in south central Texas to be in a safe place. Understand, this is the only tornado warning we have at this point, and hopefully we won't have any more tonight. I won't say we are guaranteed not to have any more because, well, frankly, today has overperformed a bit in the tornado department, at least tornado warning-wise, and the storm southeast of Gonzales does have a circulation with it. Let's go ahead. This is about 5 miles southeast of Gonzales, very near Highway 90, about 5 miles east of Gonzales, or about 4.5 to 5 miles east of 304 and Highway 90 here on the east side of Gonzales. And this storm is moving off to the east at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Could have quarter to golf ball to tennis ball size hail with it. This thunderstorm will have the potential also to produce damaging winds, and yes, as you can see right here on the which way the wind's blowing mode, the potential for low-level rotation we're closely monitoring. At this point, this thunderstorm across portions of Lavaca and Gonzales counties is not tornado warned, but it is not out of the realm of possibility that ends up changing as we go down the road. Otherwise, this is the storm tornado warned right now. Let me go ahead and see if we can't get some roads on here for y'all. That's what I'm going to try to do. Here you go. You can see Abbott's Grove Road. This is near Guterman Elmer Road. Eller Road. Hey, Alex Bartholomew saw Elmer once. This is a storm that's moving east at about 15 miles an hour. So again, Abbott's Grove Road, Grove School Road, excuse me, coming up towards Falk-Heinrich Road, and then eventually Highway 77 here in central Fayette County. Right now the circulation is remaining south of Nape Road, north of Interstate 10. Circulation is east of Skulls Road, moving towards Swiss Alp Hall Road, in Swiss Alp itself, the community, Falk-Heinrich Road, Highway 77 here in central portions of Fayette County. This is a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado as we approach 10:42 p.m. the 24th of December 2024. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer, monitoring a tornado warning in central Fayette County in south central Texas. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado very near Swiss Alp, northeast of Flatonia, about 7 miles northwest of Schulenburg in central Fayette County in south central Texas. This thunderstorm will remain north of Interstate 10, is not at present a threat to places like Columbus, Weimar, or Schulenburg, but is a threat to Swiss Alp. And technically, the city of LaGrange is in this tornado warning, though at this point, the circulation and storm itself are remaining south of the city of LaGrange. So the area of concern, definitely Swiss Alp, Radhost, School Road, Highway 77 north of Schulenburg, south of LaGrange, here in central Fayette County. We want y'all to be in a safe place, the lowest floor. Center room away from windows, put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. If you are in a sturdy site-built structure, if you're in a mobile home or vehicle, that's no good. You got to do something about that. We don't want you to be hurt. So do what you need to do to protect you and your family. That's the best advice I can give. I mean, 11 o'clock on a Christmas Eve, there's not much else you can do at this point. We are monitoring that circulation. You can see on the which way the wind's blowing mode there, coming up to Swiss Alp in central Fayette County. Back down here in Gonzales County, moving towards western portions of Lavaca County in south central Texas, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing golf ball to maybe tennis ball size hail. And we are monitoring area of low-level rotation. This is going to be very near Highway 90 and County Road 348 here in eastern portions of Gonzales County, moving towards western Lavaca County. Again, this is in south central Texas, almost down towards the coastal plains. All this activity is in association with a broken line of thunderstorms that will eventually continue to organize and move east-southeast. Let's go ahead and take a look in southeast Texas. Thunderstorms are developing just west of the Houston metro. At this point, these storms are behaving themselves. We don't have any indications of low-level rotation, spinny, doom, big hail, anything more than some heavy rainfall, lightning, gusty winds, small hail. This activity moving to the northeast, so we'll probably have some storms moving into the Houston area by midnight or shortly thereafter, but again, at this point, these storms are behaving themselves. These storms further west, at this point, are not behaving themselves. But before we get back into that, let's take a look at what's going on further north in the Brazos Valley. We note the flash flood warning around College Station, Bryan, and the flash flood warning up here along Highway 79 from Hearn through Franklin to Hewitt, Buffalo. That flash flood warning continues through midnight from storms earlier, though we note additional storms are still in the area, and then this flash flood warning around Bryan back west to Caldwell from a supercell earlier this afternoon. Back up into North Texas, the Metroplex is clear, done, over, bye-bye, no more storms until Thursday morning. East Texas, Northeast Texas, we should see rain ending in Northeast Texas over the next few hours. You can see some stratiform rain back across portions of East Texas with a line of loosely organized thunderstorms from near Madisonville to Lovelady to Trinity to Dibble, Corrigan, Zavala to Jasper. These storms at this point, gusty winds, small hail, lightning, heavy rain, not tornadic, not severe. Moving to the south, they'll eventually make it into the Beaumont area and the Golden Triangle in a few hours. Otherwise, we're here because we have a tornado warning until 11 p.m. for a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado coming up towards Swiss Alp, south of LaGrange, north of Schulenburg, on Highway 77 in central portions of Fayette County. Let me go ahead and adjust that storm skit. We'll just press that, and you can see we do have rotation here coming over towards Swiss Alp with this thunderstorm, and it is capable of producing a tornado moving off to the east at about 15 miles an hour. You can see this red tornado warning polygon includes the city of LaGrange. I don't think this is going to be an issue for LaGrange. This storm appears to have taken a right turn and turned off to the east, so great, we're dealing with right turning eastward moving supercells an hour before Christmas. That's just great. But it is what it is. So again, we have a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a brief tornado near Swiss Alp here in central Fayette County, north of Skollenberg, south of LaGrange. LaGrange are technically in this warning, but I really think you're going to be okay, unless this thing takes a very hard turn to the north. Otherwise, those of you in Skollenberg, it should stay to your north. And we want folks near Swiss Alp, anyone on 77 south of LaGrange, north of Skollenberg, to be in a safe place. That'll be on the lowest floor, center room, away from windows. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. And again, this storm is only moving east at maybe 10 to 15 miles an hour. Swiss Alp Hall Road, Volk-Heinrich Road, US Highway 77, Nape Road, Radhost School Road. Storm moving east with the potential of a spin-up tornado. It's almost 11 o'clock at night. Do not go outside looking for this thing, because if it's down, you're not going to see it. It's likely wrapped in heavy rain and hail. Not to mention, it's nighttime. So the night before Christmas and all through the state, the storms were spinning, and David is irate. The stormies misbehave. What can we do? Only let you know that it'll be okay too. For you see, the stormies will do, but they'll eventually be gone. Like my hairline, boo-hoo. Sometimes I rhyme, and sometimes I say, not usually, tornado coverage on Christmas Eve. So there we go. Here it is. I've made a rhyme, and even had a hat on. To whiz? We're not going to go down that road. Needless to say, the caffeine is strong. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is all wrong. For all we can do is hope it goes away. For we'd like a beautiful Christmas day. I bet you didn't know Baldy could rhyme. But alas, ladies and gentlemen, that's why my name is David Reimer. The thunderstorms here, moving into the coastal plains, have some wind and hail, and it turns out a little bit of spin as well. This thunderstorm coming up towards Swiss Alp tonight, the potential for a tornado. But it'll be alright. For you see, we have no confirmed reports, and at this point, it looks a little weaker of sorts. At some point I will stop rhyming, I promise I will, but you know what? I'm kind of into it still. Even then, at some point soon, this will probably be a clip on our YouTube, too. So if you're in Swiss Alp, on Highway 77-2, south of LaGrange and north of Skollenberg, hey, we care about you too. Be in a safe place, it'll be over soon. Then you can go back to sleep, and Santa will still come too. So, let us see now what we have tonight. Let us switch from the local radar and hit the big button to make everything alight. The chat's going to be scary. I can't wait to hear about this, because now I've been rhyming for what seems like minutes. So, let's hit some buttons, see what's up to. We're going to loop this back about 2 hours. Or who? Where's Whoville? I don't know, but it'll be okay. Here's the radar loop this evening, hooray. Showers and storms from East Texas back west, through the Brazos Valley, into the coastal plains, yes. Moving away from Central Texas, moving away from San Antonio. And yes, it didn't rhyme, so now I cry. But I start over because it's what I do. The line of storms will continue moving southeast tonight, with strong winds and some hail, maybe, unfortunately, but if it makes you feel better, the tornado threat remains very, very low. We're going to snap out of this rhyming thing, because obviously we're going down a big rabbit hole. Okay, so again, here's the line of storms from the coastal plains, east of San Antonio, the Brazos Valley, East Texas, moving into southeast Texas. You can see a loosely organized line here that has developed over the last few hours is moving southeast. You can see the strongest storms generally south central Texas, southern Brazos Valley at this point, where we have multiple storms capable of producing large hail, localized damaging winds, and yeah, apparently a tornado near Swiss Alp. That's north of Skollenberg. This activity will make it into Houston over the next few hours, and yeah, we might have some strong storms in Houston. We'll keep an eye on things. Activity across the Golden Triangle and far southeast Texas is behaving, and hopefully it'll stay that way. You can see the rain has ended across most of North Texas. Same for the Arklatex and Texoma. Still some storms developing back west towards 35 around Temple and Belton to Georgetown, just east of Austin. And we can't completely rule out something trying to build a little further west into San Antonio over the next few hours. But the good news is the storms are moving southeast, and the forecast indicates they'll be mostly gone by sunrise, which will make the kids very happy. It may not be snowing, but some of you may have hail drifts, and it'll look like it was snowing. So if that happens, hey, you know what? Just consider it a win, because Mama Nature wanted to give you snow on Christmas Eve. But it's a hail drift. Yeah. So if it makes you feel better, I hope it really does. The storms won't last long, and then there'll be nothing but a buzz. For once the storms are gone around sunrise tomorrow, Christmas Day will be okay. It may not be sunny. It may not be snowy. It may not be 85 degrees, unless you're in South Texas, and then it will be 85 degrees. But we'll have clouds, maybe some fog, the northern half of the state during the day. And then tomorrow night into Thursday morning, the moisture will return, and we'll do another storm day. With the risk of severe storms, even a few tornadoes too, the eastern third of Texas. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. For the Baldy has to go flying, cutting the vacation early. And yet, it's what we do, because we're here for you. I realize I didn't rhyme, but it is what it is. So, shall we get back to it? Yeah, I am actually flying across the country tomorrow. Let me tell you, that last-minute air ticket was not cheap. But we're going to be back in the office. The Chasers will be out on Thursday. We'll have live video for December the 26th, which I realize is a historically traumatic day for folks. We're not going to scare you needlessly. We're not going to try to pull that. But we are going to have storms and probably some risk of tornadoes for the eastern third of Texas. Hopefully we can get lucky and keep it east of 35 in the sense that it would be really traumatic for those in DFW. But it is what it is. We'll talk about it in the morning weather roundup. Okay, coming up to 11 o'clock, the Weather Service has not issued a new tornado warning yet for the LaGrange storm. It does look less rowdy than it did about 10 minutes ago. Yeah, it's still rotating aloft, but it's kind of getting crowded in here. To be honest, I'm a little more concerned about this storm southwest of Moulton, northwest of Shiner, east of Gonzales. That thing does appear to have some spin to it, so we might end up having issues with spinny doom, perhaps. The storm could also have golf ball size hail. Otherwise, we have storms back along Interstate 10 from Luling to east of San Antonio, and then a big old cluster coming up to Kennedy, to Runge, Yorktown, west of Cuero. Some towns I just am not going to pronounce right, and, well, it's 11 o'clock on Christmas. Consider it my gift to you for not mispronouncing it horribly. So as we come up to 11, let's do this. Let me keep rhyming while the screen is a bliss. I don't have fireworks just yet, ho-ho. Now that I'm going home early, I probably will, uh-oh, since I have a fireworks stand down the road from my house. If I'm flying home early, well, guess what? Things are going to be... Yeah, I'm not going to finish that. But, yeah. Alright, so we're going to look at the high-res rapid refresh model, the HER, as one of my friends called it earlier. But they probably went to sleep already and are missing out on the live coverage. And they wanted to watch it all day. Well, sorry, but at least y'all get to enjoy it live. Okay, so what we're going to do, let's load the HER. We're going to load the HER model for 11 o'clock. And I want to do that simply just to show you what the model thinks should be going on right now. I think I just crashed the program. So what we're going to actually do before we do anything is force close the program. Because I broke it, oh no. For the Grinch hat is on. The technology goes, oh no. The good news is now, at 11 o'clock, the tornado warning's gone, so at least it's not muck. We're not going away, though, because why would we now? It's 11 o'clock, so we might as well say, let's have a powwow. We're going to load the graphics galore, so we can show you what this thinks at 11 o'clock. Oh, bore. Here's the model tonight at 11 p.m. The simulated reflectivity off the high-resolution Rapid NAM. It's not called the NAM, but it is the her, but it rhymes, so I don't care. A humbug. Grinch, a whore. I need to watch the Scrooge. I didn't watch it yet. Maybe I'll watch it on the plane while I'm flying in 18 hours. Okay, so this is what the her thinks at 11. So it's not doing too bad. And I show you what it thinks is going on now, simply so we have an idea if it's handling the current situation well. It seems to be, so let us play the her as we go into Christmas Day. The model will look weird for a moment or two, but then it'll be in order, and hey, it'll work too. Maybe. You can see the storms moving through the coastal plains, southeast Texas, in Houston, tonight, into Christmas Day. Some of these storms will be rambunctious and mad, with hail and wind and flooding and lightning making it look rad. A little tornado threat, perhaps, maybe, hopefully not, but hey, we'll never say no, because that's just not a good idea. No, it didn't rhyme, but sometimes you just have to talk. But the good news is, the storms won't run amok. They'll be gone by 7 or 8 a.m., which means by sunrise, the kids can wake up and find their ham. No, I don't think most kids are getting ham for Christmas morning, but hey, you never know. Maybe I am. There's a ham in the freezer, but I have to cook it. But I'm banned from cooking because fire and oopsies. So the storms move off the coast by 6 or 7 or 8, and then the rest of the day, no storm issues. But alas, we wait, because it won't be long until Thursday arrives with storm issues in the eastern half to the eastern third of Texas. So, it's going to rain in Houston, it's going to rain in Victoria, it's going to rain southern Brazos Valley, it's going to rain southeast Texas, it's going to rain the Golden Triangle over the next few hours. Leading edge of these storms could be rather rambunctious with some strong winds, maybe some hail, heavy rain and lightning, a very low tornado threat, but it's not super scary. Some pretty good wind moving into places like Karnes City and Kennedy, in Runge, and Helena. So let us see what the model shows now. We'll press some buttons and have a powwow. You might be wondering why I'm disorganized too, but really, if I must tell you, it's because I'm sitting here, one laptop screen, that's all. Because this wasn't supposed to be a thing at all. You see, if it was, I would have flown home, left the family on Christmas. Uh-oh. Oh no, big phone home. But alas, we didn't, and now here we are, doing coverage on a laptop at midnight, where I am at least. For you see, I'm in a place called Ocean City, New Jersey. The beach is 100 yards that way. It's 30 degrees. Not 30 degrees back in Texas. We don't have storms either, but the family is here. I get to enjoy Christmas before I fly away. Oh dear. Flying home tonight. Well, technically Thursday or Wednesday night, but tonight where I am. So here we go now. The storms near Runge and Kennedy to Karnes City. Oh dear. Lots of wind. That's what the red is. Wind blowing away from the radar. That just means there's a lot of wind. And maybe a little circulation north of Runge. I'm going to stop rhyming because really it's important. But I do have some sugar and Sprite, so maybe Abdorant. Maybe I'll just use that in my roundup today. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to say we have no tornado warnings, so what we're going to do is keep talking to you for a minute, boo-hoo. I bet you didn't know we had a 24/7 live stream. Did you know it has music and audible warnings and radar streaming? To be fair, sometimes you just have to smile and wave, because even I don't have super great ways to make all the words rhyme. Or if I do, perhaps they're not nice words, and we can't do that, boo-hoo, for the coal will come down the chimney tonight, and then the coal will hit me on the head, and I will cry. I don't know how that made sense, but sometimes you know. It's just okay if you go ho-ho. Schulenberg. For those of you wondering why I mispronounce, I grew up with speech impediments. The fact I can say R is better than it was, because I couldn't say R until 5th grade was, so I can say Robert instead of Wobbert. But alas, my angry pronunciation ouchies means sometimes I just don't say it right. But that's okay, because, hey, it provides entertainment value, am I right? Sometimes you can laugh, sometimes you can cry, sometimes you can sing and hope you don't die. But the good news is now, it's almost Christmas Day, and with that, I'm happy to say, the storms will go away, we'll have a fun day. The weather will be okay until Thursday. When Thursday arrives, problems. The stormies return with a bit of a temper tantrum. The eastern third of Texas may have an issue that day, but you know what? We're going to be here to keep you aware of it all day. For the Baldy flies home, the storm chasers gear up for the day of the stormage. Well, we'll eventually arrive, just not on Christmas Day. Alright, folks, I hope you enjoyed this very interesting live coverage. I will admit, there's probably going to be YouTube clips of this. I can't wait for meteorologist Jason Cooley, the content manager, to see this, if he's still awake and watching this. Oh, help me. But, you know, sometimes you just gotta go with the flow. And if it works out well, maybe I'll wear this on Thursday, ho-ho. The truth is now, if we were dealing with serious weather, I wouldn't be rhyming. I'd be talking all... I don't know, the only thing I can think of is leather. But you know what? Maybe it's time I go say bye. But here we go. Don't cry. If you're watching us on YouTube, we're gonna move you to the magical Christmas stream, where you can watch the stormies go boom, with warnings galore, and with Baldy watching. If we have another tornado warning, the Baldy will be back. But until then, I'm afraid the time has come for the kids to go night-night. For the stockings must get, I don't know, filled with a drum. So that's it. The time to say goodnight is here. If we have more issues, well, we'll be dear. So that's it. If you're watching us on YouTube, thank you. Stay around. We'll give you some music too. If you're watching us elsewhere, thank you so much. You can watch our live stream at Texas Weather Center on YouTube, or just search for Texas Storm Chasers in your free app store. It's a free mobile app. Your local weather forecast, interactive weather radar, live coverage when necessary, and more. And guess what? We're probably going to have coverage on Thursday. Long form coverage at that, unfortunately. So, that's it. Good night. Farewell. I hope you enjoyed my little Christmas evening nursery rhyme. Do tell. Perhaps this is how I'll end all my coverage now, even after Christmas. Who knows? Time will tell. So that is it. Thank you very much. And to all of you, have a Merry Christmas from us. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great night, and have a Merry Christmas.